We don't need to plant opium. We do not want that. But our country is facing a severe crisis at this time.
On September 23rd, Indian officials seized nearly 3,000 kgs of heroin at Mundra port in Gujarat. It was worth nearly 2,000 crore rupees. It is reportedly the largest single drug haul in the history of India. The drugs allegedly came from Afghanistan. Some of the accused involved were also Afghan nationals. The Afghan originating drugs are also later smuggled to Pakistan, Iran, and then to Europe, Australia, and elsewhere. The opium market in Afghanistan is booming once again, the consequences of which are being felt across many parts of the world. This graph by the UNODC shows the opium poppy farming across years in Afghanistan. In 2019, an estimated 163,000 hectares of land was under opium poppy cultivation in Afghanistan. However, the land under opium cultivation increased by 37% in 2020. And at approximately 224,000 hectares, the area under cultivation was one of the highest ever measured. With the Taliban takeover and a shattered economy without any international aid, millions of Afghans are turning to opium poppy cultivation to finance their livelihoods. Opium poppy farming is one of the very few cash crops available to farmers in Afghanistan. Opium poppy farming is also labor intensive. In 2019, according to a UN survey, it provided nearly 119,000 full-time jobs. The survey also reported that lancing and opium gum collection are well paid compared to daily labor on other farms. Now, the prices of opium have more than tripled since the Taliban takeover on August 15th. Masoom says he's getting 25,000 Pakistani rupees or nearly $145 per kilogram compared to just $43 before the Taliban takeover. The reason being uncertainty around opium poppy cultivation. The Taliban consider opium haram or a sin, according to their fundamentalist interpretation of Islam. There is a fear that the Taliban would ban opium poppy cultivation. Buyers are stocking up on opium, which is in turn driving the demand and the prices. Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid, after the Taliban takeover, had said that they do not support opium production. However, he had also underlined that Afghan farmers are under dire conditions and sought international aid to help switch from opium cultivation. The Taliban had majorly sourced its finances from the drug trade during US occupation. But historically, the Taliban had banned opium poppy cultivation in 2000 at the height of its power and just before being ousted. In 2001, they had effectively eradicated most of the opium farming, as this graph depicts. The Taliban is unlikely to immediately ban opium production in Afghanistan, as it too is dependent on the drug money. However, even if the Taliban decides to ban opium cultivation, its rivals such as ISIS-K may use the same tactic as the Taliban did to finance their insurgency. Opium poppy is not the only illicit farming undertaken in Afghanistan. It includes, to an extent, cannabis farming and other drugs too. What this means for the world needs to be monitored.